taken away this Wind Ranger option for sure for Talon to even consider. Considering the atrophy with the focus fire or the whirlwind damage reduction makes it pretty awful to play into. But I like what they're cooking on Tundra again. You know, they pick up the scatter shot sniper. You and I were having conversations about scatter shot before. You told me, John, it's trash. John, please don't stop suggesting that, John. Here it comes. You know?
Are you happy?
I am happy.
You happy you got that out, Jonathan? You're satisfied?
I am very satisfied.
It only took you like a year for this to be good. It only took about
Hey, 6 months or so, okay? Give me some credit. 6 months, 6 months.
You're a fortune teller, Jonathan. You're a good man. I can see it. You got that psychic ability. Here we go. First blood maybe to happen here, as we could have a fight. Smoke around from Whitemon. He might just find Ponyo here with his pants down, and Ponyo gets sharded up, and it looks like he is just as good as dead. He'll try for the run. The Fairy Fire out. The slowdown is there from the Blood Grenade. They are still trying for Ponyo, and they do find him. Pure. He'll be the one to secure first blood on the Luna. Probably the best start you could have asked for here for Tundra.
Is Akashi?
Also caught. Ramses with another unstable concoction. They'll remove half the HP of Akashi to start off this laning stage, and oh boy, Tundra with the aggression already.
And that's what we need to see coming out here for Tundra. All their lanes are set up for nice, easy aggression. Maybe except the mid. You've got Mikado on the DK up against Thompson on the NP once more. This is, again, a very relatively stable lane. You're going to be farming here on Mikado. You're going to be farming Thompson. Neither side's really going to care too much. You at least have that extra piece of play for Thompson if he does manage to get the teleportation out early on. So that is something to look out for. A good voice line out from Pure. I was wondering where those voice lines were. It's been very quiet in game one. Good to see they're still popping out.
Don't get confident, Jonathan. No one's playing your voice lines. Nobody.
Yeah.
All right? Don't. I know what you want. I know you're trying to sell, Jonathan. It's not happening. We're at TI, goddammit. Get it together.
I talked to Whitemon. He says we're not friends. I talked to Akashi. They say that we're not friends. You know, what can you do, Mike? What can you do? I'm not friends with anyone. Still, we're friends with this game as we're taking a look at the top lane now with Pure on that Luna. Guess we are. It's a love-hate relationship sometimes. Whitemon on the... What was I even saying? Whitemon and Tusk. You've got WS on the Mars and Jocam on the Phoenix. This is also relatively stable. You have some decent play potential. Luna's not the furthest range hero, so the Mars can certainly play. This is a WS special, which is rather interesting they allow it through this time around. We've seen WS, even when Mars looked pretty atrocious in some patches, even from his time in Boom, WS makes the hero look damn good, almost like what FBZ used to do in Boom as well, except it has felt...
The curse. Well, Shard was there, but the follow-up was not. No curse, Jonathan. Well done. You've done it. Because bottom lane, Akashi and Ponyo, they'll be up against Sarksa and Ramses. It seems like already a very good laning stage for Ramses, as he has secured 10 CS. Because Ponyo will try to force him out of the Ench, but he had to go level 1 Nature's Attendance. Now he has the enchant up, so he can do a little bit more. But this laning stage, down this bottom lane for Tundra, does seem very strong. Like, maybe now the Harpy Stormcrafter could be a little bit annoying for Tundra, but with Sarksa and Ramses on an Alk Sniper, it could be a very hard lane here for Talon.
Yeah, it's not going to be nice and simple. I mean, Akashi can always try to wind run away when they do fully commit with a stun, but you're not dodging out the shrapnel damage. This scatter shot facet is just, it's a lot of damage, you know? And I love seeing it come into play here at TI, the road to the International, finally seeing this in play. It just allows you to really zone out these heroes quite hard. It's giving this melee matchup up against dual range a lot of play for Ramses, no care in the world. He knows the sniper can always cover up top, getting a little bit aggressive here.
Jocam almost goes down, but they didn't quite have enough damage. Whitemon dropping quite low himself. Meanwhile, bottom lane looks like there was a bit of a chase onto Ponyo, but they won't quite be able to secure her, as now Sarksa in danger, and Sarksa, he'll be the one to go down as Akashi picks up his first kill on the Wind Ranger. It's a classic Ench bait, right? You chase the Enchantress expecting an easy kill, and you end up giving one away instead.
That's a nice little boon for Akashi. Again, in not really a slower lane, but a lane where he's not really finding as much, say, aggressive play. The Ench can't really zone in and out too hard. You isolate that sniper, it can still be easy pickings. They will take care of Jocam up top. So, but the safe lane's having a pretty decent time here in finding these pickoffs on the supports. Not as much as you'd want to get out here from Ramses and WS, but Pure and Akashi off to a decent enough start. at very least to set that tempo here. Really curious to see how much more Thompson can get done. This lane on mid has been a lot slower for him in comparison to last game. 13-5 on the NP compared to 23-8. Ponyo?
Does go down. They will get a bit of revenge here onto Ponyo. Kashi unable to help out as he was stunned up by Ramses. You were saying, though, that the mid lane does certainly seem a hell of a lot slower here for Thompson this time around, but in fairness, he is up against DK, which is kind of the king of just slowing down your CS as top lane. WS in danger. Chase is on and Pure does secure. Now they'll go for Joe Cam as well. Joe Cam will have to walk the old-fashioned way, but Pure and Whitemon both just slowly chasing him down. Eventually we'll find him. Pure has to be a little bit careful though, and he does actually die, but he secures the double kill before he does. So I suppose you could probably just call that worth for the loot.
It's not too bad. You don't give the EXP away to Jokam. As a Phoenix, you really want to rush into that 6 or even just your level 5. And you don't get that free EXP. Taking that tick last, unfortunately, there. Getting a bit of a free chase onto Ponyo as well while he's trying to scout out these camps, but not going to be able to get that full committal onto the Ench. Still, 2-5 start Tundra this time coming out of the laning phase in pretty strong fashion.
I was oohing there, John, because Ponyo did accidentally throw a blood grenade instead of dropping an ult, I do believe. Will be just fine, though. It does happen. We all misclick once in a while. Ponyo being chased down for a little bit by Sarks and Ramses. In fact, the unstable concoction is going to be channeled. Can they get within range? Ramses? Oh, he was almost there. He was like a centimeter away, just not quite. Though now Sarks are being chased down here by Ponyo. He'll try for the TP play out, and he will not make it. Ponyo is able to secure, but now Akashi, even chasing down Ramses, but
Thompson
doesn't really have the damage. Meanwhile, mid lane, chase for Thompson. He's going to be just fine.
Yeah. Did force out Whitemon to make that way onto mid as well to secure the rune, and he is forced to take the amp damage rune himself. Thompson not going to be able to get too much out. We'll at least get the TP reset with the teleportation back in. We haven't seen that much side lane movement this time around. Probably not to be expected until you get a little bit more. Doesn't feel like the side lanes have opened up. I was expecting maybe some movements down bot. Play with a shrapnel there. Still focusing onto that mid, but you've got Ponyo to help support this push. And Mikado is getting a steady shove in onto the tier 2 here. And at the very least, not contested by Tundra all too hard on that front.
Talking about that, John, mid lane. Looks like there is a fight breaking out right now. Ponyo could be in a bit of danger. Snowball will land, and Ponyo still alive for now. The Sprout will be there. They're locking down a little bit longer as Whitemon going for a run, keeping the vision up. The heals are too much, though.
Huh?
Pure gonna move in with the Eclipse now, but he's lost vision. No, he hasn't. He'll find him. It's all right. He'll secure the kill. All worth.
Very worthwhile. I mean, you're probably not looking for a wider team fight here for Pure early on, so you might as well get pick off when that flips, get back to farm. They isolate Akashi out here as well.
They certainly have Akashi. He's a big target, and they've got him. Ramses and Sarks are able to get the job done. The wind run was on cooldown, and that's just going to make life even easier for Ramses now, who has a completely free lane, already top of the net worth board on the Alchemist, and it does certainly start to feel like this is going to be a pretty strong off-lane Alchemist game.
And it is. Getting that ramp up into more than likely just a standard Radiance build up. The mischance is going to hurt the Wind Ranger even more. I'm a little bit surprised Akashi even tried to move a little bit forward with a Whirlwind. He didn't have his Javelin up at that point. There's no real output here for the Wind Ranger to threaten until at least the Javelin timing. And a little bit optimistic to try to look for the cleanup while all of that attention was dragged onto mid, even in a 1v1. I have to see if they can maybe get some movement across the gate. They will get Akashi and Ponyo for the same movement up top once more. This time around, though, Tundra is not camping around to be jumped. They are playing it safer, understanding what Talon's done in the last game.
Oh, you say safe. They're looking at that mid-tier 1 tower instead here. Pure getting vision on Makoto. Shards will block the staircase, but Whitemon can't quite lock him down long enough. In fact, WS is here now, looking for the Tusk. They've still got help around here from Tundra, but they may just allow Whitemon to die, as they are unwilling to risk the rest of their lives. So Whitemon will be the sacrifice, but in the meantime, they got the mid-tier 1 tower. But the double-graded treants, it's just so much damage. Top lane, Pure. He will end up dying though. Akashi able to secure a kill for himself, so a pretty nice one there, along with the tier 1 tower. But again though, Tundra, they did find the tier 1 mid.
Yeah, and they can start to, again, play around that laning pressure we saw in the last game. Thompson still needing that full Maelstrom into the Gleipnir to have a little bit more presence, but can already just start to spam these treants around, keep every lane shoved in, maybe even threaten down bot at some point. Mid is still being chipped away by Mikado though, and the TPs are in to stop it. The Ench army is here, that'll get the job done.
Shards on Ponyo, that'll lock him down. Here come the drinking buddies as well, so Thompson can get right to work, and of course Ponyo will just drop very quickly. Nice pick up here from Tundra. Probably not so happy that they lost their mid-tier 1 tower, but there's not really much they could have done about it, in fairness. They will at least secure something for their trouble, as they are also going to pop a smoke here with Whitemon and Saksa. Heading down towards the south, they'll see if they can find Akashi down at that bottom lane. And Akashi is still hanging around. Power shot going right through Ramses. The raindrops actually saves the life of Ramses on top. Unstable concoction being channeled. Akashi, wind running at the right moment, will be able to survive though. Here comes Thompson looking for some vision. Unable to find it though.
Nice little readout from Akashi. Full commitment out from Tundra. We'll at least find that tier 1 bot in exchange. They're pushing power again. With a Luna on hand, with an NP is pretty damn strong. Just a lot of just right-click damage to each of these early objectives. Get that done with no contest, instantly TPing back into their mid and top to get that farm flowing. Talon, not at the point where they feel the comfiest in team fights. They do have Arena ready. Egg not quite there yet from Jokam, but you don't have easy initiation angles yet. You still need that blink up on WS. You've got an initial item coming out here for Mikado. That is his blink ready to go. So you could maybe play off of this DK. See if they will want to play more aggressive. I mean, you rush blink on DK, you're not going to be farming around, even with Fire Dragon form. So you will want to get a kill, and there's that smoke. A kill onto Pure would be massive. This Luna has not had the best of time post-laning phase. Even the laning phase was a little bit slower for Pure in terms of net worth here.
Still pumping around, smoke is still up, they're still running towards the north. Dragon form popped. Pure was underneath vision for a moment, and they will jump in with the stun. Arena down to boot, the spear will land very nicely, and Pure, well, he's trying to fight through it, but there's just no helping coming. He's actually a pretty tanky carry, but it is not going to be enough. Talon able to secure a very important kill.
Again, this Luna has been sacrificed a little bit. Laning phase, yeah, they maybe find that kill on Jokam. Overall, WS still gets control on the Mars. Not the furthest range matchup for the Mars to feel uncomfy in. He is sacrificing a lot of his farm for Ramses and Thompson to scale up as well. So this Luna's impact's not going to be felt for a little bit longer, and Talon's just poking at that wound. And this is still giving that space they're looking for in Tundra, though. Again, Ramses just lacking the Sacred Relic, already has the gold for that full Radiance. Already up and running. Farming pace is going to kick in. The mischance could save them from these two physical cores they have here as they jump Jokam.
Getting up again. Thompson finding Jokam underneath some of the wards. Shards are going to land, of course, from Whitemon. That will force out the egg, though. Now, do they have enough for the egg? Thompson, he gets caught out. The power shot, it's going to get the job done. In fact, Ponyo, he'll also follow. They'll try for a run, but now Whitemon's also been caught. Whitemon will drop. They found a shackle on Saksa. That'll be a 4th target. Can they find the 5th? It is Pure, and they know he's there. They just need the blink up, and they've got it. Makoto will land the stun. Pure trying to just run underneath that tier 2 tower. Here comes Ramses to help out, but Pure is certainly going to fall as Ramses now, feeling charitable, will hand one more over here to Talon. My goodness, what a team fight to come out. And that should have been a really easy pickoff onto Jokam, but that egg last second. And the decision from Thompson to turn around to try and burst it down, it just cost them so much. Now Akashi, bottom lane, focus fire popped. Thompson, he's going to go for the fight. Akashi pretty confident here with the power shot out, though the wind run not lasting long enough. And Thompson will just man up and secure the kill, but now Makoto's here. Makoto will trade, but it's still a very good trade for Thompson.
Yeah, not too bad. Get that big kill on the Wind Ranger, slow down that tempo as it's coming through, stall out that timing for the Gleipnir here. I think we're also starting to see some of these shortcomings here for Tundra in this sniper pickup. Saksa, yes, his damage is great with shrapnel in the laning phase, and the panel touched on this. The damage is insane. It doesn't feel like they managed to get as much as they'd want from that lane with Ramses in terms of slowing down Akashi. And now when the sniper's caught out, it's just dead. He has the Pavis to try to save himself. No shard just yet. That could be another tool, maybe a 4-staff rush. But the damage output's not feeling amazing with the shrapnel. And we saw Mikado just stand under a full shrapnel, no issues. So they're starting to lose a little bit of that luster here, although Ponyo
trying to get the D wards off, but does end up sacrificing his life. Not really expecting Whitemon and Pure to be right around the corner. They still have the vision there. It has not been de-warded or denied by Tundra, so I suppose you can always go back for it. Pure's going to run into WS here top lane. WS actually trying to go for the fight. Does have a Yule Scepter up, but drops the arena first. Pure happily just standing his ground for now. WS will eventually throw a spear out, but it doesn't really stun him up. Still, they have the DK. Now the egg dropped on top. Still, the Luna is perfectly fine as Whitemon is just trying to Giga Chat it up. Pure, though, in danger once again, does finally go down. As now Whitemon trying to back off, but here comes the cavalry. Saxa, though, and Whitemon both burning to Joe Cam. They're both down. Now Thompson dropping low. Thompson is gone. Ramsey's on top, trying to run away, but it's gonna be another team wipe for Talon. Oh my! I'll tell you what, John, game 2, the boys woke up. They're here now.
That they are. I mean, we saw this kind of pacing from Talon in game 1 as well. They're mid-game, they're finding some openings, they're finding some isolation play. This time around for Tundra, I think their big issue with this kind of draft is their team fight is not there. Right, like they last picked this Ramses offlane Alchemist. They don't really have a way of controlling people beyond like a Gleipnir pickup on Thompson, which he does have. Beyond that, I mean, it doesn't even boil down to like teamfight control there, but they just lack control in general. You're reliant on Sprout, you're reliant on isolation with shards and Snowball, and that's really it for your control. You have really good damage if you can hold people in shrapnel, but you don't have a stable way of getting that done. You don't have a great egg clearer either, because the Luna is very close range. Again, even with the Dragonlance, doesn't stand the furthest way back to be safe. And it just puts you at massive risk. Talon, 17-12, 4K up, looking good at 16 minutes into the game. Starting to hit that tempo spike early on.
Oh, this ward's doing a lot of work here, John. Thompson being spotted out by WS. Will go for the fight. He's stuck in the arena anyway, so he's got really no choice in the matter. And Thompson, he will drop once again. That Observe Ward, just towards the north of that tier 2 top tower. It's doing some great work here for Talon.
And it is. Not the most obvious spot either. And they've not been able to send their supports over after that fight up top earlier. We saw how fast the backline melts as well, and how much poke damage the side of Talon has. And they're going to be able to find this tier 2. First tier 2 of the game, going their way. Up against an NP, that's a pretty big loss for Tundra. You'd expect a little bit more from Thompson to try to, again, just split push, but he's been looking for these fights. He's been angling in, as we've seen in game 1. This time around, not panning out the same way. I think Talon's done a great job in correcting their draft. This draft, it does feel a lot more playable as well. You hit some spikes now. Akashi does have the Gleipnir.
He's going to land on Ramses, but he'll be able to just kind of dispel that off and run. The Whitemon was there with the drinking buddies just in case anyway. It seems to Talon they still want to try and force a fight once again. They are heading towards the side of Tundra, down to that bottom right corner of the map. Ponyo trying to scout out with this Hellbear Smasher. We'll see Thompson very soon. Is Ponyo happy to just tank for the team? It seems as though Talon have made the decision to just retreat. The Tundra in a very defensive position, not giving it away any openings here to Talon. And they're going to go for a smoke up. Saxa and Whitemon, they'll be the ones to try and rotate into that Radiant jungle once again. Invis picked up by Whitemon will make that a little bit easier, but Joe Camp will just Icarus dive away. Looks like they have found out Ramses. Arena and Spear will land onto the Alchemist, and Ramses, he does not have his ulti available for another 2 seconds. Still waiting it out. He'll land a very nice stun, and now the turnaround. Ramses, he'll survive. It's now WS in trouble. Joe Cam running to boot. Meanwhile, Akashi. Oh, Akashi! Look at the damage. He's finally down. Ramses, it's him against the world, and he just ends up just destroying himself. It was looking so good for Tundra, but Akashi comes in. It just, the arrows were everywhere, John. Everyone copped it.
Whirlwind, man, that damage is just insane, especially with the Gleipnir fully up. The procs everywhere, you've got the isolation, you get a really good front line as well here for Talon to play with WS just taking these aggressive plays that he loves to do on the Mars. A big factor here as well was that Jokam doesn't die, right? Like, they're playing under vision, they managed to get the jump first on that smoke play onto Ramses, nail the arena combination, have, again, these two tanky frontliners cop a lot of the spells, and Jokam somehow manages to slip away while Ponyo provides the distraction on the side, giving Akashi the room to just whirlwind in. It's just ruinous for the side of Tundra. They need these auras to be up on Ramses.
That is a stupid amount of damage being pumped out from Akashi. It was just looking like such a lost team fight for Talon, but boy oh boy, just one hero shows up and everything changes immediately. Well, now Tundra, not to be outdone, they'll start to try and reclaim their side of the map. WS and Ponyo, they'll happily retreat. Thing is now, the net worth sitting at 9k the way of Talon makes it very hard for Tundra, especially with a draft like this where you want to be playing from in front. They'll TP everyone down towards the bottom side of the map, where they'll try for the Tormentor here on the Dire side, and they will secure here for Saksa. But in the meantime, of course, Talon, they'll just take the bottom tier 1 tower for free. There's just so much catching up to do now for the side of Tundra. Like, they're just going to sit back and relax for quite a while. Especially for Pure's sake, because that man is quite behind when it comes to the net worth department.
That he is. But again, you're playing with an NP and an Alchemist. Both of these heroes will just soak up that farm a lot faster than this Luna does. And I don't know if that investment's really paying off. I do appreciate that Ramses is going for the aura coverage that they are lacking on Tundra. He's got the pipe, he's going Crimson Guard, and that's going to really stall out Akashi's damage output here at the very least. But it still doesn't fix their fundamental control issue. Even if you survive the initial onslaught, I'm not sure how you deal with Arena Egg overall. I'm not sure if you have enough to burst Makoto.
Oh, I think Makoto's baiting here. His team is right behind with a big smoke out on Thompson. He was caught on the front lines. In fact, now a big arena from WS catching 3. Snowball will save for now, but the egg just going, and now the whirlwind out from Akashi, destroying everyone. Thompson's been caught. He'll try for the Sprout TP play out, but there's just no chance in hell.
I don't think so.
Talon finding another 3 targets. And they're feeling confident now as they'll go through the bottom tier 2 tower. Hell, they might even go to the tier 3 tower. Why the hell not?
And they've got that pushing pace with Makoto around. Not much Ramses and Pure can really do to stop this. And they've got the clips up, but again, how do you take these team fights, Ramses?
They've even found another Akashi. Had the Spidey senses tingling. Ramsey's still trying to fight this one out. He was kind of just left alone there for Akashi. He'll hand the tip over now. A bit of sweet, sweet revenge as Ramses just would not back off. And now the bottom racks is certainly set to go down. Back top lane, they've found Pure. They have found Pure. Though here comes Thompson, but you've got WS to help out. So Pure annihilated. Thompson, what can you do? The answer is nothing. Double kill for Akashi. Meanwhile, in the tire base, Saksa in huge trouble. Drinking Buddy's gonna help a little bit, but not too much, as now Whitemon also set to fall. Does go down, a full team wipe. More tips coming up from Akashi. That's the Filipino coming out in him, John. There it is.
And it is the boy from Butuan giving the tips out. And very quiet here from our young player WS. Side of Tundra, again, they don't have a lot of play. Like, with an off-lane Alk that didn't really pop off, going for the aura build, even with that survivability, how do you expect to fight into this? Like, 2 durable front lines, no real burst damage to speak of. Even the Ench is going to take a while to melt through as well. And you've got this Wind Ranger with so much movement and so much damage that you really don't have stable catch for. The answers are hard to find right now for the side of Tundra.
Bit of a chase. This looks like a very desperate chase here, as they are going to try on the Ench, but there's just no chance of killing Ponyo. Makoto, he's a tanky boy. I don't think Makoto's dying that easily. And props to Tundra for trying to find at least a bit of a straggler, but Talon will not allow it. In fact, Talon are looking like they're setting up for a bit of a bait play. Ooh. Hoping someone farms the mid lane, and Ramses, he'll be the man to show up. They'll make the immediate jump in. Drinking Buddy's out, but the arena gonna lock both of them down. Whitemon with the snowball, he'll buy a little bit of time, and meanwhile Akashi right in the tier 4 towers. He could not give a crap, this man. The Wind Ranger just shredding everyone apart. There goes Thompson. There goes Ramses by the looks of it. He is gone and GG is called. Talon will tie this series up 1-1.
That they do. After a spectacular game one from Tundra, especially past, around 20 minutes. Talon come back in game number 2. They correct their draft really well. They see the NP opener. They go with the DK mid this time.